Hello, Jim Redder here. I wanted to thank you for watching our first video. We've heard some of the same questions leading us to believe we could elaborate on this just a little bit more for all of you. We're going to answer those questions for you today. We're going to teach you what questions to ask yourself about your current advisor or your broker. We're going to teach you what questions to ask them. Oftentimes, we don't know what we don't know. These questions bring everything to light. You don't want to miss this. So let's dive right in. What if I already have a financial advisor or a broker? Does that disqualify me from seeing you? Well, in my first video, I suggested that if you already have an advisor that you like, then I'm not for you, and the retirement roadmap isn't either. You see, I don't want to compete with another advisor. I bring so much more to the table. There's a great illustration about the difference between me and a broker, which most people refer to as their advisor. So check out this video.
So you guys don't know Chicago, but I'm sure in your neighborhood you guys have an old school butcher where you walk in and there's a bunch of guys, no gloves, big white aprons, and there's Frank and there's Stevie and there's Mikey. And these guys know more about meat and more about animals and more about cooking the meat than any of us will ever learn. And so you walk in and you say, hey, Lou, I'm barbecuing this weekend, right? What do you like? And Lou goes to, the big racks of stuff he has underneath the glass, and he goes, the veal chops, just in from Argentina, they are the bomb. And you go, veal? Oh, I like veal. Well, what do you got on skirt steak? Oh, we got some great skirt steak. Just came in yesterday from Montana. Skirt steak is one of my favorite, marinated up a little bit. It's fantastic. Lou will never say to you, Elliot, it's a little long on the meat here, big guy. Your cholesterol's getting high. Why don't you go down to the fishmonger a couple blocks and have a nice piece of salmon? Right? He'll never do that. Why? His job is to sell me meat, and I go in, actually the same way I go into the Toyota dealership, because I like Toyotas, and I trust the salesman to sell me a good product if I trust him. And the fact that he's got my interest at heart vis-a-vis my expectations for selling me that thing. By the same token, when I go to see a dietitian, I know she's going to look at all of my labs, she's going to take all the measurements, she's going to run all of her analysis, and she's going to absolutely give me her best thinking on what's best for me. Whether she's a vegetarian or a meat lover, likes this, likes that, if she thinks I should be doing something differently, even if it's not good for her, she's going to give me an opinion that's for my interest. So what's the difference between a fiduciary and the brokers? Well, these are dietitians, these are butchers. It's that simple. Brokers are butchers selling product. Fiduciaries are dietitians looking after your health. The problem is most people think that their butcher is a dietitian. So when one of your moms or dads or friends calls the broker and says, I got 200 grand, I sold a little piece of property, or I got some inheritance, what should I do with it? They're going in thinking they're talking to a dietitian, and they're really talking to Lou the butcher.
Now that you see the big difference, let me be very clear. My retirement roadmap is not for everybody. You see, there are 3 stages of money in life. Stage 1 is the accumulation phase. This is the stage that you begin to build your nest egg, your working years. Stage 2 is preservation stage. This stage is triggered 5 years prior to your retirement date. If you remember in our first video, we went over sequence risk. Losing money in that retirement red zone, it can be catastrophic to your nest egg. This is why the 5 years prior to retirement is so important. This is the stage that you save up to supplement your income in retirement. It gives you the chance to travel more, to live more comfortably for the rest of your life. In this stage, you move past the swinging for the deep seats, the high-risk investments, because now it's all about optimizing what you do have, making sure that you're most tax efficient, that your investments are aligned with your new risk tolerance, that you've structured your accounts to pass on to your family without being overly taxed. I'm telling you, brokers aren't advisors, and I've never personally come across a broker who does all this for you. Are they really going to make sure that your Medicare supplement is updated year after year? No, because that's not their job. That's right, it's mine. I follow a process and a checklist to make sure that your needs are met in retirement because retirement is my specialty. That third phase of money is what we call the distribution phase. This stage of life, the stage where if we do our job properly, you will have money left over when you pass away. Just having beneficiaries listed might not be good enough. There are many ways to avoid unnecessary taxation in retirement and also in your legacy after you pass away. It's rare to meet someone that wants to leave the government their money, but they are out there. If that's you, I'm not your guy. Optimizing dollars is my expertise. Now that you know the stages of life, if you're in that retirement red zone, you might want to ask these questions of the person that you're calling an advisor. Number one, are you a fiduciary? Number two, what are your tax repercussions on this money when I do pass away? Can you create a tax plan for me? Can you provide me with a written income plan? What are the biggest areas of concern in my portfolio that you see? What is your plan to prevent me from being exposed to unnecessary risk in the market? Here are just a few important points that I will leave you with. If your advisor is not a fiduciary advisor, please reconsider. Taxation can have a huge impact on your money. A large portion can be gone like that if they can't provide you with an efficient tax plan. You could be leaving money on the table. It's plain and simple. Income. Income is one of the greatest concerns for retirees. Having a document that will remind you that you will always have income, that's invaluable. Get this written down. In my opinion, a good advisor should have identified areas of concern and have an action plan to address them. If all they did was put your money in an account and thank you, you might be working with Lou the Butcher. Remember that? Let me ask you, do you have a spare tire in your car? Of course you do. Why do you have it? Because you want to be prepared for the situation should you have a flat tire. You're prepared for the worst case scenario. You feel better just knowing that it's there. You don't even have to think about it yet. Doesn't it reassure you? In our 15-minute discovery call, we will get to know each other better. We'll talk about where you are and where you want to go. Click the link below, choose a time for us to talk. That 15 minutes could save you so much. Thank you.